Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Celeste and this is From Far Out. Today I have a video for you and I want to talk a little bit about surrendering to spirit, sort of giving yourself a little bit of a refresh. Not only do I want to target this video so starting at the beginning, I have some crystals that I'm going to talk about. I have some medicine that I'm going to talk about. We're going to do a couple of card pulls and I have a book that I want to talk about that kind of inspired this whole thing. So I want to target this to beginners who are like just getting into things and are feeling like a little bit like bombarded by all of these millions of things that everybody's telling you to do. And you're just like not feeling anything resonate. You're not feeling anything hit in the right way. But I also want to target this to experienced spiritualists who've been doing this for a long time. You've been putting in the work, and in the last little while, you've just been feeling like overwhelmed, disconnected, a little bit hopeless. And I think that also ties into the time of year. So this is obviously a timeless video. This information can be used any time of year, but currently as I'm filming, we are in the throes of late fall. So for most of us, snow is here and things are getting darker sooner and everything just seems heavy and hectic with all of the holiday things happening and you know, everybody's telling you to decorate your house at this day and time. Like, it's a whole thing. This season is very, very overwhelming, and that is the exact opposite of what we need when we're dealing with things like seasonal depression or enhanced depression. You know, if you're depressed all year round, you can start calling it seasonal again. Also, I did lighten my hair a little bit this weekend. I don't know how I'm feeling. I just wanted something a little bit warmer for the winter, but that's irrelevant. So as usual, I'm going to start with a little smudge, and today I'm using sweetgrass, so I guess I could talk about this as my first item. I love sweetgrass for accepting and welcoming peace. The reason that we can be feeling a little bit disconnected is because we're just doing. And all of these things like prayer and worship and, you know, any kind of divination or like spiritual practice, it all can be boiled down to doing. And doing is great, doing is helpful, doing is work, but we also need time when we're not working, when we are just accepting the release of control. We are, we're telling ourselves, okay, so I have some, my little notebook, isn't it pretty? I have some, what are they called? Like mantras, I guess you could use in meditation or just like throughout the day when you're having a little bit of an anxiety moment. I am not in control. I react only to good. I do not receive negativity, and I welcome peace. Those are 4 things that have been really helping me. I know the idea of I am not in control can be very, very, very scary for folks, but the purpose of surrendering is understanding that our experience is simply a reaction. So what we choose to react to is what we choose to experience. And that's a really good rule for manifestation. So if you're like doing all this work and you're doing your grids and your candles and your magic and your herbs and all of these beautiful, wonderful things, at a certain point, if you're not receiving what you want, if you're not ending up in the place you want to be in, maybe stop doing. Maybe start accepting. Maybe all this pushing and working and working and working is stopping you from your receptivity mode, just entering a place of relaxed gratitude and acceptance. I find that a lot of times when we first start getting into manifestation or we first start like working on improving our life, we start with pointing out things that we don't like about our life. I don't have enough money. I don't have the right body. I don't have the right people in my life. I don't have the right opportunities. I don't have this. I don't have that. And so we work to get those, of course. But when we're feeling disconnected and we're feeling overwhelmed with everything, it's tenfold easier to just accept and just be like, I am in a peaceful place. Our society created fear, and so we can dispel it. The fear of losing your job, the fear of being ugly, the fear of not fitting in, not belonging, all those things are irrelevant to a happy and peaceful life. And isn't that the end goal of everything, right? So let's talk about some crystals first. So yeah, the purpose of my sweetgrass is to bring in a sense of peace, bring in a sense of calmness, and not looking for anything, not doing anything, just sitting in peace, sitting in connection with Mother Earth. So let's get into some crystals. I'm gonna start, of course, with rose quartz. Rose quartz is a beautiful, beautiful crystal. I did write some notes on her because I keep this baby on my little vanity place where I do like my makeup and my skincare and stuff. And she says to me a lot, I prepare myself to rest. And preparing yourself to rest is a really, really beautiful way to connect to peace and to surrender to spirit. I prepare myself to rest means I'm doing all the things that I need to do to let myself escape from this hamster wheel of get better, get better, get better, get better. And I'm just saying, I'm good. I am good right here, right now, in this moment. I love that in like a physical way. It's very self-care-y, rose quartz. It's very like, I prepare myself to rest in a way of like, I'm doing my skincare. I'm like putting on, you know, all of the hydration so that when I wake up in the morning, I have beautiful skin, and overnight it did all of the things and I didn't have to do anything. I think that's a really good like metaphor for preparing yourself to rest. Just letting yourself be, not being this way or being that way, just being and existing in happiness in that being. So rose quartz, I also have a piece of rose quartz that I also keep on my little vanity. This is rose quartz with a little bit, it's actually crystallized rose quartz, which is super rare. I don't know if y'all are gonna see that. The light might be washing it out, but it's crystallized rose quartz with a little bit of prehnite. And prehnite, as always, I literally will every time I'm mentioning self-care, I'm gonna mention prehnite. This is like a, what are they called? Like globular or grossular, just like circular prehnite. But I love prehnite because it's such an inner healing stone. It's not something that's gonna, you know, give you the power to be and do and like help you transform into anything. I mean, it could if like that's the kind of thing that you need, but prehnite is just like, you're here, you're good. It's known as the healer's healer, I think. But I love prehnite for just like telling yourself that you love you and you are worth doing the inner work. You are worth doing, not doing anything. You are worth being in rest. You are worth being in peace, sitting in relaxation, sitting in acceptance of the essence that you are, reacting to the self that you are as opposed to the self that you want to be. I really, really want to emphasize that when I say not being who you want to be, I'm not meaning that we should all stop doing self-improvement work. I'm not meaning that we should just like accept who we are and that's that on that. What I'm saying is, yes, work towards goals, have goals, be aware of progress in yourself, but at the same time, don't let that progress bog you down with a sense of inferiority. Inferiority is not going to fuel the self-improvement that you're looking for. You can't, I saw a quote on Instagram that like really hit me. You can't hate yourself into a version of yourself that you love. So for me, one of the things that I really, really want to work on and have always wanted to work on since I was like 10 years old, I've always felt and been overweight, and I've always wanted to, you know, work out, get skinny, eat healthy. And a lot of that came from a sense of self-hate. I didn't like the way my body looked. I didn't like the way my body felt. I didn't like the way my body held me and carried me and fit into the society that I was living in at the time. I didn't like any of it, so I said, let me change it. And clearly didn't work for me. Clearly always been the chubby kid, always will be the chubby kid, and that's fine because I'm not here to hate myself into a better version. I'm here to love myself into a better version. I eat healthier food because I love the way my body functions when I eat healthy. I don't like the way my body functions when I'm eating unhealthy, so why would I do that to myself? I love the way my body functions when I move it and when I, you know, exhibit my strength in working out, in any kind of exercise. I love the way my body feels when I do that, so I do it. I don't punish myself and say, well, you ate way too many calories today, so you have to do an extra mile on the treadmill. Like, that's not gonna work, that's not sustainable. So where prehnite comes in, it's really that energy of do the things that make you love yourself. Be the things that make you love yourself. Yeah. I really love that because it really is surrendering to spirit. It really is saying that like, I don't have control in any of this. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is how I feel. All I know is how I react to things. And I'm just going to react to love. I'm going to react to peace. I'm going to be the happiest and most loving version of myself. And then we'll see where that takes me. We'll see what happens at that point. So moving on a little bit, still staying in that heart zone, I have some rhodochrosite. This is Argentinian rhodochrosite. It is so gorgeous. Rhodochrosite is similar to rose quartz, a self-compassion stone, really showing yourself that the empathy and the compassion that we need to be able to allow ourselves to love the things that we do and only do things that we love. But rhodochrosite is a little bit more supportive and spiritually supportive. So it sort of allows us to release the control and always trying to be and do things better. But they say that rhodochrosite, some of the old, I don't know, I don't want to say myths, but like the old stories about rhodochrosite, especially in the Southwest United States, Southern America in general, it was known to the indigenous peoples as the blood of their ancestors and the blood of their female ancestors in specific. So, and I really love this piece because doesn't that look like just like women standing? I don't know. But they say it's the blood of your ancestors because the blood has already been shed for you. So you don't have to, you don't have to sacrifice yourself. You don't have to sacrifice parts of yourself to receive peace, beauty, love, whatever it is you're looking for. You don't have to give up anything. You can just be. It's already been offered to you. Because you are here, it means you are worthy of receiving blessings. And I love rhodochrosite just to feel a little bit extra supported, to feel like I'm not the only person who's ever felt this way. I'm not the only one who's ever gone through these things. And in the society that we have created here in the Western world, it is so easy to feel alone because people don't want to talk about the difficult things that they're going through. They don't want to talk about those things. They want to just paint on a smile and pretend that they're doing great and the work that they're doing is always coming through and they're always receiving everything that they've ever tried to get. And that's just not the reality. It just isn't. You can work your ass off and still never get what you're looking for because that's just the way life is. But it doesn't matter how much work you think you need to put in. It doesn't matter how much energy you think you need to put in. You already are blessed and wonderful and safe and loved. So that's rhodochrosite. We love, we love, we love. We're having a fight for territory, okay? You guys, Maple, back off, okay? She's so like, this is my space. Anyways, moving on to some other crystals, I'm going to talk about amethyst. I cannot talk about mental health and general mental well-being and peace within yourself without talking about amethyst. So this is a amethyst root. It's a twin, V. If I see a crystal that's a natural twin, like a raw twin, I'm gonna buy it. And then this is a palm stone, but this is actually, I think it's Super 7 or smoky amethyst, because to be honest with you, I'm not really seeing like the hematite and the rutile and the caucasonite and all the other things that make a Super 7, but it was, I think, sold to me as Super 7. Anyways, I use it as just like a smoky amethyst. It's just a little bit more grounding than regular amethyst, but amethyst will, if you let it, and if you ask it to, and you give it the time to, it will enter your mental space and really just like broom everything out. Amethyst in like old, again, myths and tales. I love looking at what old societies thought of these crystals because it will tell you what was going on in that society, what that society needed, and what these crystals were used for. Because generally crystals have a lot of uses, but okay, I'm getting on a tangent. Anyways, amethyst was always said to be the stone for people who have addictions or who are, drunk and needing a little bit of sobriety. And I think that that can be translated into today's society with people who are having like really severe, like not overwhelmed by their own mental health, but like just like overstimulation and having so many things going on at the same time. So then you're just reacting out of a like fight or flight reaction. And that's how, you know, we say things we don't mean, we act a certain way that we don't want to act. Amethyst will pull you back into your mind and really ground you and set you in a space of reality and who you actually are, so that you can act in a way that is authentic and real to you, and doesn't come from a place of trauma survival, doesn't come from a place of, you know, just like defensiveness. I love using amethyst when I just need like a clear out from my mind. I just need to be reset in my mental health, because I find that 3 cats is a lot, y'all. It's a lot. I find that when I am in like a poor mental space, I just start to like build and build and build and build on top of myself. And then like everything comes crashing down and I go insane. And amethyst, if you're having a tower moment, if you are falling out of your tower and nothing is going right, connect to some amethyst. Come back to the ground so that you can realize you're not in control. This is not about you. The work that you're doing has nothing to do with what's going on around you. Amethyst connects you to your third eye and your intuition that is bigger than this society, that is bigger than the material things that you're manifesting or the material existence that you're experiencing. It helps to understand that we can exist in all ways. We don't have to succumb to this idea of a perfect self and a perfect life, because our self is bigger than ourselves. Our self and the way that we experience the world are different. Our personal experience here in this life is different than our self, who we are, our consciousness. We are everything and we are nothing. Okay, so the next one that I want to talk about, it's not necessarily a crystal, but is a rudraksha seed. I have it on a little mala here. It's the seed of the, I want to say boji tree. I don't remember. But this rudraksha seed is really, really significant, specifically to Shiva. These are often called tears of Shiva in Hinduism, Hindu religion. But the purpose of the seed and connecting to the seed is to accept the unknown, to accept that we hold everything that we possibly need to survive, to fruit into a blossoming tree inside of us. So we don't have to worry about, you know, we don't have to worry about these outside circumstances, the soil that we're going to grow in, the water that's going to be given to us, the sunlight that's going to be given to us. We don't have to worry about anything outside of us. All we have to do is accept who we are, because we can't control those things. We can't control when the sun is going to come out. We can't control when somebody's going to water us. We can't control any of those things. All we can do is accept that we have the codes, we have the knowledge, we have the power, and to be at peace within that. Maybe everything's gonna be fine. Maybe the things that we don't know are better than we could ever expect. You don't know. So why would you just immediately go into a place of, well, I don't know if this is gonna happen, so I better make sure it happens. I better work my ass off to make sure it happens. But what if it doesn't need to happen? You know, you ever thought about that? I think a lot of our survival tactics come from a place of trauma. And specifically for me, and I spoke about this a lot in my shadow work series, is that I always feel like nobody's going to take care of me because nobody took care of me when I was a child. And that's where that comes from. So now that I can see that and I can accept that, I can say, I know how to take care of myself. I know that I have a support system that will assist me in taking care of myself. So why am I worried if things are going to work out? Why am I worried about XYZ? Why am I living and existing in a scarcity mindset, in a survival mindset, when I can exist in a thriving mindset? Because I have everything. I am everything. I am so divinely supported and creative that all I have to do is exist in peace, and there I will be. And there is all that I need. Okay, so I have 2 more crystals that kind of work together, and then I'm going to do some card pulls and talk about the book. So of course, I'm going to talk about not orange. This is tangerine quartz and then mango quartz. I know that these can get kind of mixed up very easily, but it's a different mineral inside the crystal that will make it tangerine or mango. With mango, it's going to be really hard to focus on that, but you can see sort of these like hair-like follicles, of course. Of course, I brought the bucket out, and of course, we have a bucket girl. Oh God, don't show that on the internet. Anyways, so it's almost like these hair-like minerals that are coating the quartz, and then inside tangerine quartz, you can kind of see it here. It's kind of just like a buildup and like a layer. So this one is so cool. I always try and show this one on camera to see if y'all can see the like millions and trillions of record keepers. Can y'all see those? I don't know. Anyways, so these are my refresh stones when I am feeling bogged down by old things, old patterns, old habits, old mindsets. I reach for my tangerine and my mango, and it literally is like a zesty, citrusy, refreshing drink. It will clear out all of those layers of all the shit that I just literally don't need, and bring in this sort of like ready for life feeling. It's a really interesting combination, and it sits in my sacral chakra because for me, my sacral chakra is where I hold a lot of crap. It's where I hold a lot of the shit that I don't want to go through. It's where I hold a lot of not secrets. I don't want to say secrets, but it's where I hold a lot of things that I don't want to see. I don't want to talk about. I don't want to process. I'll just like put it in my sacral chakra and not worry about it. But that's not what you're supposed to do because you have to worry about it. Well, you don't have to worry about it. You have to go through it and process it and let it go. And another thing that I discovered in my shadow work series is that feelings aren't forever. And I was so afraid of feeling things because I've always been told I'm a very explosive person and a very sensitive person and overly emotional person. And that's not true. That's, the environment that I was raised in where I wouldn't be heard or understood if I wasn't explosive, if I wasn't overly emotional, if I didn't make the moment all about me, I wouldn't get my own moment. And now, as I've grown and been able to take care of myself, I allow myself to have those moments. I allow myself to process, and it'll last a few minutes. And if I let myself express it and process it, it'll last a few minutes. And maybe some things might even be in the back of my mind, and it might last a few days or even a few weeks. And that's fine because it doesn't all have to come out at once. It doesn't have to be scary. It can just be processed because your body knows what it's doing. You know that book, The Body Keeps the Score? I didn't pull it out, but that's a really good one for understanding how our body holds trauma and how our body can release trauma. And it's not as scary as it sounds. It doesn't have to be this like overwhelming moment. It can just be processed and cleansed out and refreshed. And I feel like that is so important to the idea of surrendering and the idea of, letting spirit take over and just letting yourself feel things, process it, and move on to the next thing. You don't have to carry it with you. You don't have to, hide it and put it away until it like forces itself to come out. These two are really great processing stones if there's things that you are just not looking at and you need to remember how to let yourself express. Okay, this video is getting really long. I'm just looking at my little notes down here because I write things down like as I like meditate or like as just like it randomly comes to me. And I forget to say all the things that I want to say. Be in the presence of safety and joy. Be in the existence of self-compassion, self-love. React to safety. React to safety. React to safety. I literally cannot express that enough. Tangerine quartz, another one to react to safety. Understanding that your roots are held. You are held strong. You are safe here in this moment. So let yourself be free. Let yourself be held down, grounded in peace, and let all of your things just sort of flow and process as they need to. You'll always be taken care of. It's gonna be okay. Absolutely. Preparing yourself to rest. Yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to say. I cannot be all things at all times. Tangerine quartz, I cannot be everything. Let me be this moment. Let me be this moment. Let me be this moment. Process these things individually. You don't have to tackle all of your trauma, all of your wants and needs and manifestations. You don't have to do everything all at the same time. You don't have to do anything all at the same time. Just be in the presence of safety and joy. Yes. Oh, a big thing that I want to say is a refresh is not a relapse. I find that even myself, a lot of times, I get in this place of like, fuck, this is not working. What I'm working towards is not working. I need a refresh. I need to start over. That's not what a refresh is. A refresh is pausing in a moment, breathing out, clearing the things that you don't need away, and continuing on your journey. I find that I can really like let myself down and like be like, just get really down on myself when I feel that I need a refresh, because I often, associate it with like having to start all over, and everything that I was doing was just a waste of time, and it wasn't worth it in the end, but it is, because you're not going backwards, you're just standing still for a moment. And I think that speaks to a lot of my disconnection with safety and stability, because obviously stability is like a really big part of my trauma that I'm working with. And like not feeling stable, not feeling like I can stay in one place, and not being strong enough to be in one place, always moving, always going backwards or forwards, feeling good about myself or feeling bad about myself. And sometimes I just need to feel myself. I'm not feeling, I'm not like hero complex. I'm not like, I'm doing amazing, everything's perfect. And I'm not like, everything sucks, I hate myself. I'm just sort of like, this is me and I'm good. I am here. I am peaceful. I am good. I am surrounded by my spirit. I am surrounded by my medicine. I am supported and stable in this moment. And that's good enough. Okay, so that will bring me to this book. This is called The Call by Oriah, Discovering Why You Are Here. To be totally real, I'm not all the way through it, but I have some like bookmark pages of some things that I wanted to bring you guys, and totally recommend this. I bought this at a used bookstore for 6 big ones. There's a bookstore near my house. It's called, what is it called? Second Chance? Second something? I don't know, but it's all used books that are phenomenal. So I wanted to read you a little excerpt about surrendering. This is a story about surrendering from a woman who has found surrender impossible. This is a story about stopping the war, my war, the one I have fought all my life, the one I have not been able to give up despite the fact that I have lost every battle and sincerely declared myself out of action over and over again. It's a story about stopping the war with what is within and around me, because I have simply had enough of fighting, because I love my life and the world, and have come to realize that in order to find the rest I ache for and the peace I want us to create together, I must give up the war I fight every time I allow my desire to create change, inner or outer, pull me into doing. Change will happen. Change does happen, often as a result of our choices and our actions, but every time I let my actions be dictated solely or primarily by the desire to create change, every time I am attached to achieving a desired result, no matter how lofty or spiritual that hoped for result may be, I am rejecting what is, and so causing suffering in myself and in the world. That is so beautiful and so powerful. The work and the self-improvement and the manifestations, beautiful, great, do the work, do what you need to do. But at a certain point, you're just causing your own suffering. You are just telling yourself that what you are is not good enough. And that is, oh my God, that is so not true. Your existence and who you are, whether you've achieved these goals or worked towards these things, You are still enough and worthy of peace and worthy of safety and worthy of stability and strength. So stop causing your own suffering by forcing change, because change is going to come whether we want it to or not, whether we ask it to or not. Things about our life are going to change. So why push change when we don't need to push it, when we can just accept and flow? And I've said this before in other meditations, but being the tree growing in the middle of the river, being fed by these moving waters and still holding strong in your body and in your place of growth. There's one other short part that I want to So just for a little bit of context, in this moment, she's speaking with a spiritual leader of herself, and she went to the spiritual leader saying, what can I do? What can I do to, improve my life, change my life, whatever. So she's asking, what can I do? And she's been told, go home, do nothing. And she's immediately met with like anger in herself, being like, what the fuck? Like, I made it all the way here. I did all of these things, and I'm asking you for this advice, and you say, go home, give it up, let it go. Okay, so that's the anger she's feeling, and this is her reaction. So the spiritual leader is who's speaking. What you are looking for cannot be earned or paid for with suffering or hard work. What you are looking for cannot be earned by suffering or hard work. The peace that you're looking for does not need to be earned. It's not transactional. You don't need to exchange something, whether it be effort or, sacrifice in some way to receive peace. It is a gift, grace. It can only be received. A wave of hopelessness washes through me. I know how to try harder, work longer, suffer through. I'm good at it, and I'm willing to do it. And they are telling me that not only is this not what is required, but that it simply won't work. Try easier. I don't know how to do easy, I whisper, and I don't trust people who do. This is a revelation I realize is true as soon as I say it. I trust others who, like me, trust hard work. Assume it is required. Dive into it willingly and do it well. Give me something else to do, anything, but don't ask me to do easier. I don't know how. I don't think I can. There must be something else. I am begging now, desperate to know what the answer to all my questions is, not the one thing I truly feel I cannot do. I lie back down, defeated, letting the tears slip silently out of the corners of my eyes, and I run down into my ears. Finally, the voice of the grandmother comes again. Softly, sadly, you keep fighting with reality, Oriah. It's a losing battle. Give it up. Okay, beautiful. I think I got my point across in my overly emotional expression. But with that, I'm going to pull 2 cards here. Bruh, I literally just looked at the back of the deck. Look at this, turquoise. Awaken your empathy. Winter, take care of your needs. That's literally what I've been saying this whole entire time. I just picked these up out of the little boxes. Awaken your empathy. Awaken the empathy towards yourself. Let yourself feel bad for yourself. Understand all of the work that you've put in, all of the things that you've done, and just be like, wow, that's a lot. How have you come so far carrying all of these things? Let me take care of your needs. Let me hear what it is that you really need, not the work that you think you need to do to put in. Let me hear the things that you really need. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle these. So the decks that I'm working with, this is the Secret Language of Color. I recommend this deck to anybody who is beginning their journey in card reading or just wants something super simple, super easy. It's all just colors with, their little sentence or whatever. So I'm going to ask for collective, what can we do to surrender? What can we do to accept our peace, accept our gift of grace. Got 'em. I'm gonna do this one too. We've got greens, which is a beautiful heart message. So we have emerald, calm your mind, body, and soul. And green, revitalize your nervous system. So feel that calmness, feel the energy of peace that you hold, you already hold. You don't have to go out and look for it. Just exist within it. Just be calm in your mind, your body, and your soul, and revitalize your nervous system. Really release all of the things that you think you need to hold on to receive your gifts, because that's not what your nervous system is for. Your nervous system is not made to recognize the things around you that you could be doing better. Your nervous system is meant to protect you, and it's there to keep you safe, because that's a part of our divine creation, is our safety. So revitalize the nervous system and the way that you see the world around you. This can also speak a lot to people with anxiety. If you're constantly feeling paranoia, if you're constantly feeling like you have to look around you, release that. Enter calmness in your nervous system. And then I'm also going to pull really quickly, this is one of my favorite decks. This is the Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. It is like one of the, popular, I don't know, internet decks. I see a lot of TikTok tarot readers using these. But it's a beautiful deck, and it's a beautiful set of messages. I love that there is a mix of, okay, let me ask while I shuffle. I'm going to ask a message for collective in entering peace and surrendering spirit. I see a lot of folks using this because it has, guides that come through, like physical people, or not people, but I guess like spirits that come through. And then also it carries the directions and shields. Oh, we've got sun coming through. A good mix here. Okay, we've got autumn, release old and past. We've got broken arrow, embrace the energy of peace. You guys, I cannot make this up. Embrace the energy of peace. Are you kidding me? Okay, and then we have two guardians here. We've got the warrior, be fearless and stand strong. And then we've got the magic guardian, unlock the magic within. So these are a really, really beautiful message. I feel like the warrior is connecting to this autumn energy of releasing. So being that warrior, not in battle, being the warrior that exists in a place of strength, that sits in knowing one's self, and then allowing that the leaves to fall. The tree still stands strong all fall and all winter without its leaves. And I think that's a beautiful message for this time. So holding strong, standing in strength, allowing a release to happen, not worrying about, what is going to replace the things that you've lost, not worrying about what is going to continue to maintain you, just sitting in the strength of the root. And then our magic guardian with the broken arrow, embracing the energy of peace, unlocking the magic within, understanding that this peace and this gift of grace is existing inside of us. It lives within our existence. It lives within our experience. And all we have to do is choose to react to it, choose to acknowledge it, choose to accept it. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to sacrifice anything. It can only be received. Okay, y'all, thank you so much for joining me in this video that was a little longer than intended, but I do hope that you stuck around to the end, because I feel like a lot more of my message came through, because I love books. a lot of it came through when I was reading. So peace be with you, and I will see you in the next one. Peace and love from far out.